on this similar kind of topic where it's this SOGI 123, the DEI, these progressive, supposedly progressive theories that you can't even talk about because they're so progressive. You have various provinces who are implementing legislation that mandates school boards not institute these policies where they do not disclose a child's change in pronouns or change of name. It's called social transition, and that's like the first step in a transition to another gender or personality disorder. But some provinces like Saskatchewan, Nova Scotia, I think was the other one,
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick, and Ontario's kind of toying with it as well. But you recently had British Columbia's conservative leader under fire for likening the teaching of sexuality, gender to what happened with residential schools. And this is from the CBC, so it's unsurprising that they conflated what he was saying, because he wasn't likening the teaching of sexuality and gender to students. He was likening that policy, where many school boards have went ahead and instituted these policies that explicitly state that you are not to disclose a change in gender identity or pronoun use to a student's parents. And so some of these other provinces have said, wait a minute, for anybody who's under the age of 16, like these are minors that we're talking about. We have to disclose this to the parents, and keeping them in the dark is actually dangerous. And as you've already discussed, Sheila, it can lead to further harms through things like suicidal ideation, other mental comorbidities that usually go in hand with gender dysphoria. But anyway, the tweet from John Rustad was, today is National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, or Orange Shirt Day, or if you're Justin Trudeau, National, why can't I think of the word, not skiing?
Surfing.
Thank you.
Surfing Day.
Surfing Day. He says, today we remember what happens when the Canadian government thinks it's better at raising children than parents. I will always stand with parents. And so this is exactly the same thing. When parents oppose the being kept in the dark by state-sanctioned curriculum and state-sanctioned gender dysphoria diktats, this, like the parallels that he draws here are very clear and concise. This has nothing to do with, as the CBC has spun it, the teaching of sexuality and gender. This is about keeping parents in the dark and thinking that the state knows better about what's best for your kids than their parents themselves.
Right. The outrage here speaks to how true he was in saying that. And I have Indigenous friends who say the same thing. Like, this is what happens when the state determines what your values should be. And that's what's happening here. And everybody's mad because he's right. He's right. The state should, as Justin Trudeau's dad said, get out of the bedrooms of the nation, but it also has to get out of the kitchen tables of the nation, because these are conversations for parents with kids when parents decide the kids are ready, if at all. It should not involve government-run schools infecting your child with the mind virus of whatever this nonsense is. And the idea, once again, that parents who have a different worldview couldn't possibly love their children enough to get through whatever this issue is bigotry. And MLA Rustad was right, and that's why everybody's mad at him. He was a little too right. And in Justin Trudeau's world, that tweet would be nuked under new censorship legislation.
That's right. And tweets like the following, which come from the Ontario Principals Council, would be highlighted and shared broadly. So I guess October, as we enter this month, today is October 2nd, but we're once again apparently celebrating there it is. There's the acronym, 2SLGBTQQIA plus month. See, I missed that extra Q. I didn't know there was another one.
What is that for? Questioning.
Oh my God.
Queer and questioning.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Oh, and then, yeah. Anyway, so there's another month here that we're recognizing the history of the diverse lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer communities. We encourage our schools and students to become allies and stand up against discrimination, bullying, and harassment. I mean, didn't we already do Pride? So first we had Pride weekend, right? It started in Toronto and maybe other city centers, I think about 15, maybe longer years ago. So there was Pride weekend, and it was like that 1 day parade, and maybe it ricocheted a little bit into the next day. And then there was Pride week, and there was Pride month. Now there's Pride season, and I guess we're still in Pride season, or is it just Pride year and like endlessly now?
I have no idea, but what a hell of a marketing gimmick if you're selling those pride flags, that you can just sell them all year long now. This is wonderful if you are selling that kind of stuff. But I like how they keep expanding the acronym there so that pretty soon we're all going to be members of the LGBTQ community once they add letters for everybody else. Like, are you heterosexual tomboy like me? I guess they're gonna get me in there one of these days. Like, it just never ends till now. We've got people who are questioning. They're in there too now. It's never ending. We're all going to be gobbled up by the LGBTQ acronym one day, and there will be no escape. It'll just be all encompassing. And it'll get us all.
You can't just be Canadian, because that was supposed to be like all encompassing and diverse. And, but that, I guess, is now like textbook bigotry. We have to now switch out and have like every color of the rainbow and every symbol. Like, I don't even know what that purple circle is for. At one time, I thought that there was like the lesbian, gay, bi, and bi was supposed to originally like encompass kind of every like queerness. Then there was trans, and that was supposed to be everyone. Anyway, it just keeps getting longer and longer. And as Billboard Chris points out here too, he reposted this. He just said it never ends. And like, that's kind of where I am at this point. I'm like, when does it end? And when do we get real recognition for things like our veterans who literally fought for your freedom to be whatever you wanted to be here and speak freely and express yourself freely, right? Because that's what these people are capitalizing on. They're capitalizing on free expression, free speech, and the ability to be whatever they want to be without state interference. And they do it, and it's fine. And nobody really cares that you let them have their Pride weekend, whatever. You steer clear if you have young children and you don't want them exposed to sexual perversion and nudity. And otherwise, you just whatever. And this is now the culmination of when radicalized people have infiltrated this lesbian gay movement. And now they just want to take everything over and start to funnel their theories into the impressionable minds of your children at school without your knowledge or consent. And that's where parents have said, whoa, hold on a minute. We've had enough. This is where we finally draw the line. And so our veterans who fought for their ability to freely express themselves, they don't get a day, like they don't even get a whole day. They get a moment of silence on November 11th for 1 minute at 11 o'clock. There's no month, there's no weekend, there's not even a holiday. So that I find to be a huge injustice and extremely hypocritical, because they literally fought for people's ability to have this kind of expression, whether you agree with it or not.
Hey folks, that was a clip from the daily live stream. I co-host it Monday to Thursday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Alberta team takes over on Friday. Please tune in. And by the way, we want to hear your 2 cents worth. If you're able to make a minimal $5 donation, we will read your chat on the air live. Thank you.
Justin Trudeau's new censorship law, Bill C-18, it's a shakedown and a desperate attempt to keep the mainstream media afloat. Many have already lost their ability to access our Facebook and Instagram pages. The blackout will soon affect every user in Canada. We've partnered with Private Internet Access, a VPN provider dedicated to safeguarding digital privacy. For just $2 a month, you can maintain your access to our content across all your devices at piavpn.com/rebelnews.